The Buccaneers have a massive opportunity coming right in front of them. A player that has been associated with the new offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Zac Robinson, is now being looked at by Bucs fans, by pundits alike in the NFL, questioning how can we fill in this tight end spot for the Buccaneers, and is this the player that actually could solve a lot of those issues? I'm Sebastian, the Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. I can't wait to talk about this subject because this player, he's one of my favorite players of all time. As a Gator alum, I was there at UF when this guy was playing, so I can't wait to talk about him and how he'll fit in with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But first things first, before we get into it, we do have to shout out our sponsor.
Before we get into the rest of today's show, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. If you download Kalshi using the link in the description and use code DIGESTNFL, you're going to get $20 when you trade your first 100. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States, and on their platform, you can trade yes or no on real-life events such as sports, elections, news, even weather. You can find everything on Kalshi. Now, whether you're in California, Texas, or anywhere across the country, Kalshi is now live in all 50 states. For sports fans, we can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out anytime. As we look forward in the NFL calendar, we can look toward the NFL draft and see that Fernando Mendoza's odds are skyrocketing right now on Kalshi to be the number one overall pick. You can also trade on a maybe more lesser-known option, Ruben Bain Jr. It's genuinely the smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. Download Kalshi with the link in the description, and don't forget to use this code DIGESTNFL to get your $20 bonus.
And without further ado, let's not waste any more time. We know who we're talking about. It's, so Zac Robinson was hired as the Bucs offensive coordinator. And, we are talking about, before we get in, Kyle Pitts is a big name that is being talked about right now in terms of just, is this the answer to the Bucs tight end problems? And I think that the answer is unequivocally yes. But it's just a matter of, will the Buccaneers front office be willing to spend what they have to go get him? He is going to be a pending free agent this upcoming free agency, and so they won't have to trade anything for him. It's just a matter of, will he want to stay with the Falcons, or will he want to follow his offensive coordinator of the past 2 years to the Buccaneers? And I think that this would be just a great way to both move off of Cade Otton, who's just been super hit or miss, and really had a rough year this past season in terms of just, this was his contract year, just seeing if we wanted to extend him. Didn't do enough, and I think most Bucs fans are ready to move off of him. So now now we're looking at who's going to be the answer, who's the guy that we should go out and get. Now, Kyle Pitts had a lot better of a season this past year compared to previous years and previous seasons. His rookie season, he had a very standout season when it comes to just a rookie tight end getting over 1,000 yards. That does not happen very often, and he was one of the few to do it. And listen, I'm a UF alum. I watched this guy with the Gators. I believe he's the best tight end the Gators have ever had. He was drafted 4th overall by the Falcons. That's one of the highest, or might be the highest, that a tight end has ever been drafted in NFL history. So there was a ton of promise coming in. Now, Pitts has not lived up to this generational status that he had from his draft profile, but that doesn't mean that his career is over. He's only 25 years old, and there's a ton of football left for him to play. Now, whether it's with the Falcons, with another team, that is yet to be seen going into free agency, and I believe that the Buccaneers would be a fantastic spot for him. Gator bias aside, this is a name that's being talked about by many people, not just people like me. So let's just jump into what the Pewter Report people say about him. Matt Matera, that is. He says Pitts still has a lot of talent and has torched the Bucs in recent years. This latest season, Pitts has the best game of his career on Thursday Night Football. Personally, I was at that game, making 11 catches in Tampa for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. Overall, it was the second best season of his career and his best since his rookie season, as he made 88 catches for 928 yards and a career-high 5 touchdowns. Pitts would bring more of a receiving element that Tampa Bay can use from the tight end position. The athleticism and big playability is there, and Zac Robinson found it last season. He's not much of a blocker, but there are other ways a team can get blockers in the lineup without giving away what the play is going to be. And so these are the stats for those who aren't aware. He is 6'6", so he's really tall. And it's just a matter of, okay, we don't know if Mike Evans is coming back for sure. And if Mike doesn't come back, if he just retires, which I really hope is not the case, but if he does, we're going to need a vertical threat. Now, I don't know if Pitts is fast enough to beat people downfield like Mike can, but his how tall he is, his length, and just in terms of his arm length, it will be a huge asset to Baker Mayfield and Zac Robinson in this offense. I mean, they're the other guys, they have big playability, they can stretch the field, but when it comes to like a jump ball one-on-one, Kyle Pitts is the guy that you want to be tossing it up to. And I do believe that there is just a lot of great football, and he has not even reached his ceiling yet in the NFL. But again, second best season already. People were thinking that he was just going to fall into nothingness after he had a rough start after his rookie season. And he's come back. He's come back around. Zac Robinson was unlocking that. And now that he's here in Tampa, this is a perfect opportunity for him to come and keep that going. Not miss a step, know the system, and kind of help the other guys who are learning Zac Robinson's system and keep that going. So I think this is just a wonderful opportunity. Joe Bucs fan said that it's hard to believe, but veteran tight end Kyle Pitts, who had a standout 2025, will be just 25 years old when next season kicks off. Was Pitts just crazy hungry in a contract year, or has he matured into a Pro Bowl caliber player? Or did Robinson figure out how to use him? Pitts will have suitors, and the Bucs might not prioritize tight end, but if the Bucs want to jack up their loaded offense even more, then durable Pitts is an intriguing option. So, with all that said, he was the best tight end in football, in college football, when he was at Florida, and then when he came into the NFL, he went over Jamar Chase of all players. The ceiling for this guy is unbelievable, and he's still really, really young. I mean, he has nowhere. I think his rookie season and this past year are still just parts of him building towards what could be a really great second half, or even really like next 2/3 of his career. And he could start it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I do believe that a lot of bad coaching has hindered Pitts' utilization and has hindered his confidence as well. He's been going through a cycle of quarterbacks that he's been trying to work through. And now going to Tampa Bay, where Baker Mayfield, he's been here for 3 years. This will be his 4th season in 2026. There'll be more stability at that position. I do believe that the connection there could really be something special. And listen, tight end is really the only spot on the Buccaneers offense that we don't have really locked down. Like, it's everything else, the offensive line is looking good. Maybe the center with Graham Barton, where there's still some question marks, but everywhere else in the offensive line is looking really good. Running back, we got Bucky Irving. We have the best receiver room in the league. It's really just, do we have the tight end superstar that would really complete this offense in terms of talent? And I do believe Pitts would be that answer. He's not the guy that's going to break the bank. There's some people who are worried that, like, okay, even if we go and get this guy, the contract that we would have to give him would be too high. I don't believe that's the case. I believe that there's, a gap between him and like the other young tight ends that are really breaking out, like Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, even Colston Loveland, or folks like that, or Tyler Warren. Kyle Pitts won't be demanding the money that they will be. They will be down the road, depending if they can, keep their consistency up. But we've seen Pitts have really, really great seasons in his 5 years in the NFL. And I do believe that he has a chance to not only replicate that, but even extend and have the best season of his career in Tampa Bay, where, a lot of Florida fans like myself would love to see him really kind of come home in a lot of ways. And listen, he's been torturing Bucs fans for a long time now. It's been rough for me as a Florida fan. Like, I want to see him do well, but it sucks when the Falcons drafted him. And so this just makes so much sense. Now that we have Zac Robinson, not everybody's first choice for offensive coordinator, don't get me wrong, but this is a great opportunity for him to, keep that familiarity with the system and then just keep it rolling. Like, there's no reason why to think that Pitts won't be intrigued by having consistency with a scheme like ours and having familiarity with the division as well. So it's still the NFC South in the end. We're still going to be in contention for the NFC South next year. And despite what people think about the coaching, we know that there's no one who's head and shoulders above everyone else. We'll be competing, and that's all I want to see, really. I've seen enough bad Bucs football where I'm okay with tanking for a top 5 pick. That's just not how it works, and I think Pitts would be a great addition. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think Kyle Pitts would be worth a contract? Do you think that we should sign him to a 2-3 year deal, 1 year prove it deal? I mean, I doubt that he would be really willing to do that, but do you think a 2-3 year deal would be something that'd be okay to take a reach on? Or do you feel like no, don't go for it all? Or maybe you're like me, please go for it. He would absolutely be an upgrade in our tight end room. Let me know what you guys think down below. And who else do you think is a good tight end option out there to replace Cade Otton? I'm curious to see other names that are being floated around. But until then, until we do our next video, I'll see you then.